everyone, and today we are going to start with another workflow. And this is not exactly a workflow. We are going to start with one agent, which is reg agent, which I have already told you guys that I would share one video on this, right? So before starting with reg agent, I would be telling you guys what is exactly a reg agent, right? There are multiple types of agents. One of them is reg agent. So yeah. So over here, if you're going to see what is reg agent, it is retrieval augmented generation, right? Which means we are trying to retrieve something which we have already fed somewhere, right? Now, where we are going to feed these things, see, I already have one example for you guys. Over here, if you're going to see, there is this thing, right? This is my some FAQs for our customer support team, right? Like how to reset the password and all. This can be asked by a person to us or some customers to us. Now, if you're going to see every time, if AI is going to go by this much information, it would be too much. For if you're going to see over here, we only have two pages, so it won't be mattering much. But let's suppose if there is a PDF of 10 pages and there are such 10 PDF. So if you're going to see, there are 100 pages which our AI has to read again and again. So like, don't you think if we are going to break this thing in chunks, like payment and billing is one chunk, troubleshooting is one, not troubling, troubleshooting is one of the chunk, or else you can make some chunks like this. Payment and troubleshooting would be one of them. So let's suppose we are getting five chunks out of this. And now if a question is regarding this, which is our payment and billing, our AI is directly going to open that chunk and it is going to retrieve data out of that, right? And this is what is known as vectors, right? So I would be showing some pictures also so that you would get a better idea, right? Again, these pictures I have got from the Gemini itself, right? So these are the two pictures. See, this is the actual definition of a vector base, right? See, okay, yeah. So if you're going to see over here, see, this is the drive from which we are injecting the data over here, right? Now this data is dividing into multiple chunks, chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3, chunk 4. Like chunk 1 is based on marketing, chunk 2 is for, let's suppose, IT department, which is your tech thing, right? Chunk 2 or else, so yeah, this all are chunk 2, right? So this all is having IT data and chunk 1 is having some marketing data. Now all the marketing data, so this is how your vector looks like, right? Over here we would be using one embedding model, right, which is going to divide this data into a vector store, which is this, right? Vector store does not look like this. It is actually a 3D thing, right? So there would be multiple, like you might have studied this in your, if you might have opt for either maths or physics, you might have studied vectors. Vectors are something which have certain directions or something, right? Or which has certain specific point in a space. So let's suppose marketing would be stored at a particular point, all the IT thing would be stored at a particular point, and so on, right? So we won't be going much into deep over here, right? Finally, when we want to get data out of this, then we can just go at that particular site and we can retrieve the data out of that. Fine. Simply, if you're going to think, if there are 500 lines and we are trying to retrieve data out of those 500 lines, it would be difficult. But let's suppose we are having only 50 lines. It would be much easier and faster, right? So over here, same thing we are trying to do. Fine. So I also asked Gemini if there is a 10-year-old person or 10-year-old kid, how to explain that. So see, over here, if this is a treasure box in which there are multiple toys, whether it's book or this building blocks or something. So what it is going to do, it is going to divide all the part, like all the building blocks or this blocks would be one side, books would be at different side, right? And this is where we are going to store it. So whenever we want a building blocks, we would be going for this. If we want a books or something, we would be going over here. And this is how our AI, our reg agent is going to work. Fine. There's no need of going more deep than this. Fine. So we are going to start with this. Fine. So we would be opening, let's close this first, and we would be going for N10, right? First, we would be going with the trigger. So, which app we are, which software we are going to use? We would be using something called as a Pinecone, which is a vector base. Let me close this as well. Yeah. So we would be opening Chrome. I would be going with this account so that I would be also showing you how you can search for this Pinecone, right? How you can get an account. So search for Pinecone, press enter. Yeah, and this is where you are going to go. Click this, and over here, go with the login first. Sorry, sign up first. Sign up we are going to go for, not login. Well, sorry guys. Yeah, so we would be going for sign up. Over here, I would be signing up with the Google itself. Yeah, so this is what I would be going with, right? I would be going with this account, right? Because I already have account over here. So we would be going with this. And if you're going to see, Pinecone is going to give you some credits for 1 month or something. Let's see. I guess it's taking a lot of time. Okay, I guess there is some issue. There was some issue with my Wi-Fi, so I am will be reloading this. Yeah, this should work now. Yeah, and fine. So we would be having two-step verification over here. Mm, mm, Actually, I'm not getting any message over here. Yeah, so I guess we have logged in with we have signed in with my email ID. Yeah, so you guys can do same. And now you can choose anything over here. Fine. And I guess this should work. Or else we can press skip as well. Yeah, fine. So once you're going to start this, you would be getting something like this. This is your API key. Right now I'm closing. Okay, so once you're going to log in to your Pinecone, this is what you're going to see. Right? So over here, we would be going to database. We would be going to indexes over here. We would be create one new index, right? Over here, we are going to name anything. So I would be going with demo one for time being, right? Over here, we would be choosing our embedding model. So I'm choosing this one because this is the most cost effective embedding model. So this is what we are going to choose. We will scroll down, and over here we are going to keep this as it is, cloud provider as AWS, region would be also same, and we are going to create index over here. Once you're going to create this index over here, you would be seeing this green, which means our index is live now. Over here, this is the namespace, right? So we would be using this, right? Fine. Now we would be moving back to our N10, and we are going to first think about the trigger over here. So what I am thinking that whenever, would be showing you my drive. So this is the drive over here. In my drive, there are multiple folders. One of the folder is saved from Chrome. So we are saving all, or we are storing all the datas over here, right? Let's suppose right now this is like, if you're going to see, the name of this file is anonymous, right? But over here this is FAQs, right? How to track and all. So this is very small, right? If there are multiple such what we can say, files, or there are multiple, yeah, files. One is for marketing, one is for sales, one is for business development, one of them is for this thing, uh what we can say, accounts. So there are multiple such things, and if we want to retrieve any of the data, we are storing all of them over here, and we are going to feed this to our uh, Pinecone, right? And it is going to make the vectors out of this, and it is going to store. So if, like, we are not going to go manually and store all these things in our Pinecone over here, right? So we are trying to make one automation for this as well. So over here, first of all, what is going to be the trigger over here? So whenever we are going to get a new file, so over here we would be going with drive first, and over here our trigger would be on change in involving a specific folder. Why? Because over here the all the files would be in this specific folder which is saved from Chrome, right? I haven't named them. You can also name this. Fine. This is what I was getting name as default. Same over here also I was getting this default name. So I haven't uh, thought to change this. I guess it's fine, right? So over here we would be choosing this over here. Fine. I have already set up my credentials, and how to set your credentials I have already shown. So we are going to move forward. Over here, we are keeping the folder itself. Folder we are going to choose, if you remember, it was folder from Chrome or something, saved from Chrome, right? So this is what we are going to choose. Apart from this, now what event it is going to look for. So if you're going to see over here, let's suppose I'm uploading two more files over here. So what is happening? It seems like that there are creation of two new files, right? So this workflow is going to execute whenever there is a new file which is created inside the folder, right? So it is going to watch it. So let's fetch this and see over here we are getting, if you're going to check whether we are getting same file or not, so you would be getting the name over here. It should be anonymous in brackets. Yeah, so see, this is the thing, which means this is correct, right? So this is done. We would be moving this over here. We would be minimizing this a little bit. Fine. Over here next. So these are the details of the file. Now we are supposed to download this. So we would be using again drive node only. It would be drive. Okay, just a second. Yeah, we would be going with drive, and over here we would be going for download file, right? Again, we would be not see over here, if you're going to see, there would we would find that file as well, right? This is the list, but over here we are not going to choose this name manually every time. So what we can do, we can keep this dynamic by choosing ID over here, and we would be passing ID from here. So see, there are many IDs over here. If you're going to see, you would be looking ID which is with name, nearby name. So this ID we would be passing over here. Let's execute this. We should get a file over here. If you're going to download this, you would be getting the same file which is over here. This file, fine. So this is done. Now once we have got this file, so this is that file. We are going to upload this to our Pinecone. So let's upload this to Pinecone. Over here we would be using this add document to vector store right now. So we haven't named, yeah, we have named that it was demo1. So this is what we are going to choose over here, right? And how to set credentials, go create new credentials, and you're just going to paste your API key over here. From where you would be getting API key, you would be getting API key over here, this, right? So now I can't click any of this API key. I have to generate one new API key only. So generate this and paste that. Fine. Anyways, so this is done. Apart from this, we are going to add option over here. We would be using Pinecone namespace. So see, if you're going to see over here, database demo1, there is nothing over here, Now if you're going to name this, let's suppose I'm naming this as data base, right? And if I'm going to execute, okay, we won't able to execute this till we are going to connect embedding model and all. Yeah, so the same name you would be seeing over here. Make sure this is very, very important. Most of times we tend to make mistakes over here only. So make sure that we are naming it very correctly, right? Apart from this, we are going to connect embedding model over here. So see, embedding model should be also same, or else your Pinecone is not going to work. So over there, if you remember, we went for embedding model uh, by OpenAI, and it was text embedding 3 small, right? Same thing is over here. Let's suppose you are going with large, so choose large over here, but this is what it was, so we are keeping that only. Second, if you're going to see over here add options, there would be something called as dimensions. Why you're going to choose this, I would be showing you. Hit back over here and see. Okay, still we are not able to see. Yeah, see over here there is thing called as dimensions, which is 512. There is 1024, 1556, something something, right? There are multiple dimensions like this. So this dimension should match, right? This is the dimensions of vectors, right? There is no need of going more inside this. Just make sure that your dimension is same as over there. By default it is always going to take 512, so this is what we will be choosing. Fine. Once this is done, we would be adding document over here. Click this default data loader. Over here, we would be going with binary. Why? Because if you are going to keep JSON, it is going to take this, right? And this is not the data which is inside our file, right? Our file is in the binary form, which is this thing. So that's the reason we would be choosing binary. Apart from that, this text sampling, we would be keeping over here this. Acha, over here, this simply means that if there are 1,000 characters, 200 characters are going to overlap, right? So some part of marketing and sales might overlap or something. If we're going to go with custom, what is going to happen? We're going to choose text splitter, which is this one, and over here it is already 1,000, which means if there are 1,000 chunks, any if you're going to see the previous node, there was 1,000 chunks, out of which 200 nodes were 200 chunks were overlapping. Same way over here there are 1,000 chunks and there is zero overlap, right? So marketing would be completely separate, your sales would be completely separate, and so on. None of them are going to overlap. Again, there is no need of going much deep into this. Fine, this is enough. And now we are going to execute this. And if you're going to see over here, we are getting 3 items out of here. See, these are the 3 responses, and these are the same which is over here. So for instance, I can give you a little bit idea. How do I reset my password? So to reset your password, login page, forgot. So same thing you're getting over here. Frequently asked questions, general questions. To reset your password, go to login page and click forgot. So see, there would be meaning would be same, right? But the what we can say, meaning would be same, but text might be different, right? Why? Because embedding model, we are using this AI over here, which is thinking and which is converting every text into most simplest form, right? So over here, if you're going to go to your Pinecone, you would be seeing, click this, and now you would able to see namespace, which is database over here, right? Whatever we have named, right? Apart from this, over here in browser, if you're going to see, there are 3 chunks, right? Fine. So we have already uploaded our data, or we have already stored our data in Pinecone. Now we are going to retrieve data out of this, right? So to retrieve this data, so let's save this. We would retrieve this data by using a checkbox first. So we would be going with chat trigger. Fine. We would be connecting this. Let's execute this first. Open chat. We would be sending anything, right? And see, we are getting this over here. Now we would be going with AI agent. Fine. And this we would be connecting over here. Fine. Probably, yeah. So we are getting this text over here only, right? Now we would be connecting a chatbot or chat model over here, and we would be going with Gemini, as you guys know, right? Why most of times you are going to see me using Gemini, because it is free, right? And that's the reason we are using Gemini most of the times. Fine. We would be choosing our credentials, and this is done. Now over here in tools, we are going to give pinecone to this. Yeah. So account is fine, and see, it has already kept operation mode as retrieve document. Fine. So we can give the description over here, which is retrieve information. Fine. And this is what it is. Over here, we would be choosing demo one, if you remember. Fine. Apart from this, let's see add options. Over here, we would be, this is very important again. Most of times I like, if you're not getting your desired output, it would be because you're not keeping the name same. So over here, we would be going with data and then capital B. Yes. Right. Again, I, for confirmation, I would be checking this. So same thing we are getting over here, and this is fine. Apart from this, we would be connecting this via embedding model, which we would be keeping same only. So again, we would be going with chat gpt, which is this one over here. Text embedding model should be same, so it is same. Add options dimensions, again we are going to mention this to 512. Fine, and this should work. Let's ask some question to this from the file itself. uh let's suppose change, can I change my account email, right? So yes, you can update, login, navigate to setting account. So this is the information, and same I guess we should get from here also. So let's, yeah, so this has saved, and we got one response over here. Let's check output. Yes, you can update email to your account, navigate to settings, account details, and enter new email you will need. See, and same thing we are getting over here also. Fine. You guys can read this, right? Meaning is same. Over here, if you are going to see, it has used some asterisks over here, which shows that this is how these are the steps which you are going to follow. So probably this text would, if you are going to convert this to text, we would see this in a bold form. Fine. So let's try one another. Fine. We would try one more, which is how can I track my orders? So let's copy this. Let's paste this, or else I am facing I am facing, okay, problem in tracking my order. What should I do? Fine, this should work. And see over here, we are not giving, okay, so Gemini is not working. So we would be changing the credentials. Anyways, one more thing, what I was telling you people, that see over here, we are not giving any system message. Why? Because see, there is only one tool, so there is like not much complexity in this agent, right? Complex agents we have already made. You guys can check out those videos, which is email agent and this calendar agent, right? So there were so many things going on. So there you need to give system message. Over here it can be fine. So simply change the credentials over here, or else we would be changing the model. We would be going with 2.5 flashlight. Yeah, let's execute this one more time. Okay, I can help you. Could you please provide me? Okay, so I guess there was some hallucination over here. Mm, so now I guess there is need of using system message because this flash 2.5 flashlight is not that good. This I have seen many times. Anyways, so we can write down this message over here. Use retrieve to retrieve information. That's what we can write down. Let's execute this one more time. I guess this time this should work. Again, same problem. Let's change this thing. Yeah, let's change the question. We can keep something like this. Do you ship internationally? If this is not working still, then we are going to change the, yeah. So we would be changing our this model over here. We would be going with this, and this time we would be going with the 2.5 flash only. This one. Let's execute this one more time. Okay, so same problem we are facing. Let's try with this. Yes, this time this should work. Yeah. So main problem was with that chat model only, the AI. Anyways, so over here we are getting, yes, we currently, you can see over here, better would be if we would be seeing over here only. Yes, we currently ship to select countries. You can view complete support, estimated shipping cost, and so same thing we are getting. Yes, we currently ship. You can you can view the complete list of the supported locations and estimated shipping costs during checkout. So I guess everyone got what we are trying to do over here, right? Again, I would be repeating what we are doing over here. First, we are giving all the files and all the information to, like over here, we are creating one workflow which is putting all the data in Pinecone, or which is storing all the data in Pinecone using this workflow, right? We are just going to put that file inside, going to paste that file inside our drive on a specific folder. Over here, if you're going to see, this specific folder was are saved from Chrome, right? So this workflow is going to execute. And then if once that data is inserted, we can ask any question regarding that thing over here. And this is that thing which is bringing answers from this Pinecone vector store. Fine. So we are keeping up to here. Let's meet in another video.